when that I was
Nothing in his life became him like living it. Macbeth. Macbeth, the Scottish noble warrior, is convinced by the witch's omens his wife to kill King Duncan. However, his brother Rain brings nothing but madness and loss to the royal couple. Isaac Gutierrez will present to us Macbeth's last monologue in the play, in which the death of his wife and the betrayal of his kinsmen leads him to reflect and deny the value of life. Isaac Gutierrez as Macbeth, Act 5, Scene 5, Sonnet 2.
But when I came at last to mine, with a halo of remembrance,
I have almost forget the taste of fears. The time has been, my senses would have cooled to hear a night shriek, and my fell of her would at the dismal treatise rouse and steer. As life were in it, I have sought full with flowers. Dianas, familiar to my slaughterous thoughts, cannot once start me. Wherefore was I cried? She should have died hereafter. There were in a time for such a word. Tomorrow. And tomorrow. And tomorrow. Creeps in this petty pace from day to day to the last syllable of recorded time. And all our yesterdays have light of fools, away to dusty day. Out. Out, brief candle, life's but a walking shadow, a poor player that struts and frets his sour upon the stage. Then is heard no more. Except a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury and signifying nothing. When 40 winters shall besiege thy brow, and deep, deep trenches in thy beauties fill, thy youth's proud livery, so gaze them now, will be a tattered weed of small worth hell. Then, being asked, where all thy beauty lies, where all the treasure from thy lusty days, to say, within thine own deep sunken eyes, where no fleeting shame and thriftless praise. How much more praise deserve thy beauty's use? Thou couldst answer, this fair child of mine shall sum up my count and make my own excuse, proving his beauty by succession thine. This were to be new made when thou art old, and see thy glove warm when thou fell'st it cold.
Well, I have several questions. What happens in that article that why does this
he's fearless. And then when he hears the sound, the cries of the women, he fears again, so he starts reflecting on that. And the second part, he hears another cry, which is the cry of his wife dying, and that's when he starts reflecting upon the value of life that neglects.
What do you think this reveals about his relationship with Lady Macbeth? How are they getting along throughout the play that it makes him see it?
Well, throughout the play, he has, in the first part of the play, he has like a very a very passionate relationship with Lady Macbeth, and she is very dominant over Macbeth. And then after he kills Duncan because of the manipulations of Lady Macbeth, he starts being the one who dominates Lady Macbeth. So they start to have an exchange of power. And after seeing that the person who told him or who made him kill King Duncan has just died because of the terror that his reign has brought, that's when he starts. That's why he says a monologue, and that's how that's why the monologue has a very introspective tone, because he is reflecting on how the big part of the relationship that makes him feel Duncan has just died.
I have another question for you also. So your monologue, right? So we also play, which is a sort of transitional play between this and that. But I would like to ask you, how does this kind of play in contrast to modern play? How do you contrast, how do you relate the modern, early modern period and modern?
Well, I suppose that while it was not as mundane as the Elizabethan theater, the Macbeth represents like I think they are not very different, because Macbeth is like the play that made the transition from the Elizabethan to the modern theater. But I think if there's a big difference, it is on how they are little indications for the actor to do. They still were much more interpretative than the modern theater, which is like more staged properly, or more properly staged than Macbeth. That it was still not perfectly organized, but it wasn't as disorganized as the Elizabethan theater.
¿Qué es lo que más te gusta de la obra de a nivel como de una creación nacional? Muy personal, ¿qué más te gusta de relaciones de cultura con la obra y con
No es tanto que me relacione, sino que me interesa mucho la idea del héroe caído, y que pues se repite en varios esquemas. Y a mí me gusta mucho de Macbeth cómo empieza siendo un héroe de Escocia, y en realidad no es un sujeto malévolo. En realidad es una persona que tiene lealtad hacia el rey, pero su misma lealtad y su misma confianza lo hace descuidarse de las palabras que le dicen las brujas, porque en realidad nunca reflexiona bien sobre lo que le dicen las brujas, como que lo oye y lo trata de aceptar, porque él, sabiendo que es un héroe y es muy bueno, puede lograrlo, puede ser el rey de Escocia. Entonces me gusta mucho cómo el personaje, siendo un héroe al principio, acaba siendo un villano, pero ni siquiera un villano con verdaderas intenciones de dominación, sino un villano porque fue manipulado por lo que lo volvió.
Do you think Macbeth is justified?
No. Justified to kill Duncan? Or
And everything else?
and everything else? I think he's not justified at all, because he wants to skip the stages to becoming a greater hero, like from the easy way, like killing Duncan, and he in the society or in the society of the power in the Middle Ages, which is where Macbeth is set, you have a role and you will always have to have that role. So you don't have any excuse to try to put yourself upon others because it's not a merito. You don't have to make merits to be better because the only thing you have to do to be above the others is to be from the royal family. And Macbeth is not. So and since he's in a medieval context, he can't be justified.